This story is really horrifying. A woman went on a date with a man she thought could be a good match, but ended up being killed and cut into pieces for a 200 million naira ritual. The story of how 35-year-old Suleiman Adijat was murdered for a ritual involving money is truly disturbing. What's even more chilling is how it reveals a network of people involved in trading human body parts. This isn't the first time we've heard about money rituals in Nigeria, and sadly, it probably won't be the last, because it seems there are others making a living from such gruesome practices. It all began in November 2023, when two men, Sharif Ogbai and Asejohan, reached out to Olu Samuel Mondi for help with a money ritual called Oshel. I'm not sure exactly what this ritual entails, but it promises a payout of 200 million naira after 7 days of family rituals. It's unclear what Samuel Mondi's role was to them. The article doesn't specify if he was an herbalist or a traditional healer, but it's evident he was contacted because they believed he had knowledge about it. When asked to perform the Osho money ritual, he charged these two men 800,000 naira to complete the ritual, gather the necessary materials, and enlist the help of others for success. This is just how business works. It's my specialty. If Olu Samuel Mondi could do a ritual to earn 200 million naira, why would he settle for 800,000 naira? Wouldn't he have done it many times for himself? This is the issue with people who seek help from traditional healers to become rich and make billions. If these healers can make others billionaires, why aren't they billionaires themselves? After charging the man 800,000 naira, Samuel began the Osho money ritual process. However, as is often the case with such rituals, especially in Ogun State, there is always a need for someone else to be involved. It was clear Samuel couldn't do it alone, so he contacted someone he believed could help. He reached out to a white garment prophet from Ibadan named Peter Oluwaloleche.
Peter Oluwaloleche. Peter, 48 years. Ben.
For his experience in obtaining human body parts, Peter's task was to find a young woman aged 18 to 20 and obtain her head, breast, private parts, and a wrist. It's curious why women and children are often targeted for such rituals. However, even though Peter was experienced in this, he too couldn't do it alone, so he contacted another white garment prophet in Lagos named Prophet Jamil Yusuf, who was also involved in the business of dealing with human body parts. It's often prophets or pastors involved in such activities. From what I've observed now, Prophet Jamil Yusuf also needed help on his end. Strangely, they had to seek assistance from someone else for the same business. He reached out to an intermediary named Abidemi Moses in Ogun State. When it was Moses' turn to play his role, which was essentially the same as the beginning of the ritual chain, he had to find a young girl between 18 and 20 years old to provide her head, breast, wrist, and other parts. This was their objective all along. This goes to show how easily accessible these things are for them. All they had to do was make a phone call and they could get a fresh human head. Abidemi Moses was clearly capable of this task. He could deliver. And in this chain, he was now the next person in line to demand payment. Moses asked for 600,000 naira to find someone. However, the one supposed to pay was Mondi. Samuel Mondi, the person initially approached by the two men. Mondi negotiated the payment down from 600,000 naira to 300,000 naira. All of this took place around November and December of 2023. Even though Moses was capable, he wasn't the head of his human parts operation. He was just an apprentice to a native doctor named Adebayo. This shows the number of people involved in obtaining this human head. After Moses got the money, he went to his boss, Adebayo Aziz, and told him about the deal. Adebayo Aziz quickly understood because this was how he made a living. According to what people are saying, Adebayo Aziz has been involved in the illegal trade of human body parts for 3 years. It's not clear how he does it, but from the story, it seems he has a simple process. He meets a girl, pretends to love her, gains her trust, and when a client orders, he acts. It's not known how long Adebayo Aziz and Adijat have known each other. but it's certain that she worked as a security guard at a church in Ota, Ogun State. Also, it's unclear how they met, but it's obvious they had been communicating. Adebayo had been trying to woo Adijat, showing interest in her and planning to go out with her for some time. So, on January 9, 2024, Adijat agreed to go out with him. To her, it was just a date with a potential partner, someone who could be the love of her life or her life partner. She had just finished work that day and was very tired when she received a call, believed to be from Aziz, asking her to come for the date. She informed her sister that she was going to meet someone in Ota, Ogun State, not far from where she lived, and that she would return soon. Unfortunately, this was the last time anyone saw her alive. This was the last time her family saw her alive and well. Finally, in this chain of illegal human body part dealings, they found what they were looking for. The issue was that they wanted a young woman, aged 18 to 20. Adijat was 35. And it's unclear if the others in line knew her age. But, in business, how would they know? Maybe if they saw her face, they might have realized. When she went on a date with Aziz, he took her to a shrine. It's not clear how he convinced her, but they usually find a way. This has been his thing for a long time. At the shrine, he handed her over to his apprentice, Abidemi Moses, who facilitated her killing with help from others. After she was killed, they took the needed body parts. Moses delivered the body parts to the people who had hired him, including Monday and Peter Oliwololosh, who were waiting at his house. It's believed the body parts were cooked in a pot and used for a ritual. For some strange reason, all of this happened at Moses' house until the next day. Afterward, it's not clear what he did with the body parts. He might have turned them into a paste, cream, or something else, and then he returned to the start, to the two men, who were actually boys from Edo states, Sharif, Obi, and Osejaha. They finally received the last portion of the 200 millionaire money ritual. They took it back to Edo states. The money ritual was finished. All that was left was to wait 7 days for the 200 millionaire to appear. Around this time, Adijat was reported missing, and the police began investigating her disappearance. Since Adijat had told her sister where she was going and who she was meeting before she left, the police operation started easily. Through their anti-kidnapping units, they began making arrests. However, the investigation took some time. While the police were searching for suspects, the two boys in Edo State had already used the money ritual medicine for almost 3 weeks. Yet, they hadn't received the 200 millionaire. Sheriff Albert and his friend were extremely frustrated. Despite their efforts, the money didn't come as expected. The money ritual was supposed to work in 7 days. However, 7 days passed, then another 7 days, and another, but they didn't receive the money. It's not clear if they tried contacting others involved in the ritual to complain, but by then, the police were already tracking them. Eventually, all of them were arrested. By the end of January 2024, all 7 people involved in the ritual were arrested, while there are others who are still on the run. Those who helped Moses in killing Adijat weren't directly involved in the main plan. They were likely hired to lure, kill, and dismember her. On February 3rd, the police reportedly raided the shrine where these crimes took place. During the raid, they found evidence suggesting that more people had been killed for similar purposes at the shrine. 10 women's handbags were discovered, along with 2 cement bags containing human bones, axes, weapons, and other ritualistic items. It seemed like a place where many had met their end. Later, it was reported that Suleiman Adijat's family identified one of the handbags as belonging to her. This was likely all that remained of her, as most of her body parts had been used in rituals. It's unclear what was left to bury. It's unfortunate that in a country with a struggling economy, people are driven to such desperate acts for money. This news will be broadcasted on national television. And people will see it, yet, this hasn't deterred others from continuing these practices. Many in this chain have been involved for years. Even though some are being caught now, there are still others they know who are also in this business. That's why I always mention this when talking about ritual cases. When these herbalists, prophets, and others are caught, the police should make them confess and reveal names of others who might not be involved in that specific crime but are part of the ritual parts business. It's impossible for all 7 of these people not to know others in the business. For someone to know where to get a human head, there's a network. There's a market. It's like buying meat at the market. If one meat seller doesn't have a specific type, they know another seller. Who knows another seller? Who knows another? It's the same with this business. People involved know others who are also involved. This isn't the first time I've seen a group of people arrested like this. There have been many cases. If those arrested had mentioned names earlier, some of them might have been investigated and stopped before another victim was killed. This is just one case we know about. Adidja's story is just one that's come to light. She's likely not the only one. Like Wolfhead, in this shrine, 10 female handbags were found. But we only hear about one of their stories. This suggests that for every 10 people killed for money rituals, only one case is reported. This shows how common it is for people to just disappear, people vanish, and we can't explain it. It's unfortunate. During this investigation, I hope the police gather enough information to understand the black market and underground trade of human parts in Nigeria, especially in local communities. Maybe they can catch those involved. Instead of going after young boys allegedly involved in crime, they should focus on finding those dealing in human parts. Many lives could be saved. It would be satisfying to see them raid a shrine and arrest everyone there. But instead, they are going to schools to arrest students with laptops and iPhones. It's sad. I hope we see fewer cases like this. Adidja worked as a security guard, a very pretty woman who could be mistaken for someone else. Many people think these things only happen to girls without jobs. Adidja had a job and was taking care of herself, yet she still became a victim. It shows that anyone could be a victim. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And you can also turn on the notifications both in socialmedia.so. If there's any future updates, you'll be the first to get notified. Thank you for watching.